Hi YouTube, welcome to my first video of 2024. It's the middle of January here in the southwest of the UK in Devon. So I'm up on Exmoor today in a really lovely wooded valley. It's a lovely winter's day, lovely blue skies, frosty morning here. Good morning, Winnie. You chased all the pheasants away? Good. So today I'm going to be doing some winter pruning of roses. There's a load of roses all along the wall. I thought I'd show you this one as a prime example. So we've got a lot of old stems that, start here and come back in. They're very unproductive now. Last winter I pruned out a lot of them, and as you can see, we've had loads of lovely regrowth, all these kind of greener stems coming up here, and there's a lot coming out towards us.
So here I'm taking out any of the new growth that's coming out away from the wall. I'm pruning out all the old woody growth that's not productive. With any pruning, you should start with dead, damaged or diseased material, and then any crossing and rubbing branches. All the tying in will be done at a later date, as I need to attach some new vine eyes and wires so I can tie it in. So I'll show you that in another video. So you can see last year, this next rose has got a lot of unproductive stems that are old and woody and not bearing much flower. And then that was after I'd pruned it. So I left some of the old stems, and some of the new stems I'd reduced. And as you can see from this year, we've got a huge amount of new regrowth. So again, I'll take all these old stems out. Any dead, damaged or diseased stems I'll cut out as well. And then I'll leave stuff to the left and the right that I can train in at my leisure.
So I was only really going to show some of the vigorous roses that are, I guess quite satisfying to prune and see the results, but I think it's important to show you some that haven't really responded that well. I mean, some of these roses are quite old, they do have a lifespan, and depending on the situation they're in, I mean, this is basically a base of one of the Amelanchier trees, so it gets a lot less sun, it's competing for water and nutrients and things, so it's just not as vigorous. So last year I would have pruned it proportional to, I guess, the health and vigour that it seemed to have in the existing branch system. So it's not that healthy. I've just pruned out a few of the old stems, but I'll just show you what to do with a specimen that isn't that vigorous and strong. You just have to be a bit more gentler and give it a bit more time. Again, like a stem like this is very unproductive now. We do have some young stems, but some of these things you just have to prune it the way that you know is right, even if you know there is a chance that it's not gonna thrive. And like I say, some things do have the time, and I guess that's just where you make a judgment call. You obviously speak to the client and let them know that what you're doing is what you do with anything else, but the individuality of that plant, it might be slightly more riskier. At the end of the day, you're trying to produce a bigger response. It's survival of the fittest. Nothing lasts forever, and unless it's a particularly sentimental thing, then I think you just need to get on with it. So we've got this little stem here, which is a new one, which I'll leave. It's not that thick and strong really, but it will do. I've taken one of the old stems out here. There's a few buds I can just see that are alive, so I think that could be a really good strong regrowth. But a lot of these others I will take out. So I'll take this large one out. Again, you can see as I pull this through, we've got a little bit of growth here. A lot of these side buds that would have had, you know, a nice bit of flower for a few years. They basically all died back. There really isn't anything productive on it, and really that's just a drain on the plant overall. When you've got to send water and nutrients 2 or 3 meters down an old unproductive stem, it's slowly dying. It's just a drain on resources that isn't giving anything to the plant. There's no vigorous growth, you know, there's not really going to be much photosynthesis and energy coming back, so the plant is better off without it. So a stem like this, it's not ideal, but there is some new healthy growth on. I'm just taking out anything dead, unproductive. I mean, to me this is just a stem that you'd keep because it is going to photosynthesize, it is going to have some flower, and until we get some vigor and response from the rest of the plant, it's just a temporary addition that you will hopefully prune out in a few years. So this stem isn't that old of a stem. Again, we've got considerable dieback. It's not very healthy, but I will leave some of it just because there isn't much on here. You know, we obviously do need something for photosynthesis to occur, and if we're not going to get the vigor to have new shoots and leaves, then you know, the plant's going to struggle. You know, that's about the most vigorous stem on it. So yeah, that's grown okay last year. So just keep them to one side if it will catch. On there, just tuck that under. So we've got 2 shoots going one way, a small one going left. But again, this large stem is very unproductive, so I'm just going to take that away. There we go, so all I've left are 3 stems. Again, this one and particularly this one aren't going to stay once I get some good response from the base, but I've basically left all the healthy productive material on this just so the plant is as efficient as possible, and we'll just see what response it has. It might thrive, or it might you know, slowly die back. We'll see.
I've just got Winnie checking in, making sure I'm working hard. So she's my wire-haired dachshund that I've had for almost 5 years now. So she's my trusty companion. She comes with me everywhere. Some gardens like this she can come out in all day or until it starts raining. Others she'll just stay in the truck, but she's more than happy as long as she can see and hear me most of the time. So this is a Rosa rugosa. They tend to always flower on 2-year-old wood and older. It's good to try and have a rotation with things like this. Any wood past 5 years old tends to become unproductive. So it's good with this type of rose really to prune so you have a range of 1-year-old growth that's vigorous and strong, 2-year-old wood which will start to flower, and then the 3, 4 and up to 5-year-old wood will continue to flower and have bigger and bigger hips. So with this one, there seems to be a huge amount of rootstock growth. So it's kind of sucker growth coming off of all the root system. So I'm having to spend quite a long time going at least a metre and a half all around the outside of this rose to clear it all out before I can actually prune the rose that we're keeping. So as I'm going around today, I'm clearing out the base of all these roses, getting all the leaves and stuff out. There's also quite a lot of weed growth around. So here I'm just pulling out a load of stinging nettles. They're actually one of my favourite weeds to get rid of. Once you can get into the root system, you can kind of follow them along and pull them up quite easily. Luckily it's defrosted enough by now. So clearing all the leaves out of the base of things is really good. As I'm pruning hard and right to the base, I want any of the dormant buds there to come to life but they need the sunlight, so clearing out the base is really important. Also, for all the weeds, it competes with the plant that you're trying to support and keep healthy. So this video is running at double the speed. This one rose took me longer than all the others just because of all the rootstock growth and all the crap that needed to come out. So all I really need to do to prune this one is just reduce the overall height, tip back any of the small side shoots to an outward facing healthy bud, and that's about it.
So on this Catinus, pruned it pretty hard last year. All this is 1-year-old growth, so it's a very vigorous plant. So you want to do, when you get in close, when you're going to prune a stem, you want to cut it to, you always want to cut to an outward facing bud. So we've got a bud just where the tip of the secateurs is there. So I'll make a cut here. This stem, there is a bud there. So I'll cut it there. So you want to leave 2 or 3 healthy buds from the cut of last year to get an overall umbrella shape. So I'll set the time lapse up and you'll see what it looks like. It's one of the treats in winter, these Hamamelis mollis, which is witch hazel. Really lovely, dainty yellow flowers. They come in all different shades of yellow and orange and red. And they do have fragrance. It is ever so slight, but they do smell really, really lovely. But yeah, it's a rare treat in winter. It's looking lovely in this morning sun.
If you enjoyed today's video, then please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.